I think it's good. Hi, everyone who joined our live session today on LinkedIn. We'll be talking about today our certification of Little Project Manager, Facilitator, and we'll be happy to answer all the questions that you might have at the end of the presentation. So let's go to the next page. Yeah, what today we will be covering. We'll talk about what the Little PM is about. We'll talk about the origin of the Little PM. We'll uncover the story of the Little PM, what it became today since the time it's been launched. We'll talk about the certification journey, what it includes, and all the benefits our facilitators will get after completing their certification. So bear with us. We'll be discussing quite a lot about our facilitator certification and what it includes. Okay. So who we are? My name is Anara Asylbekova. I'm the founder of the Little Project Manager, and I have more than 20 years experience in the project management. Been doing different projects in the different industries, started from the fintech, have done some construction projects as well, and then the healthcare. Now I'm managing the portfolio of the projects in the health tech and here in the UAE, original from the Kazakhstan. I've been co-authoring several books related to the PMO, solution delivery and project management, and also the portfolio management and AI. And also I'm a co-author of the books of the Little Project Manager that we will be talking about a bit more later on. And Edward, if you can introduce yourself as well.
Of course, good afternoon. I have been a primary school teacher for 10 years now. I did my training in the UK, taught there for a bit, and then moved to the Middle East. I've taught in Qatar and the UAE. And as well as being a primary school classroom teacher for that time, I've had several different middle leadership roles, taken an active role in coordinating subjects such as science, STEM, and the humanities, and really thinking about how to bring that together and make the best education experience for the children. So we're not wasting any learning time, but we're actually providing children with interesting activities that helps them build those skills and enjoy their learning experience. Latterly, I've also been coordinating the moral, social, and cultural curriculum in a school in Dubai. So this has really given me a good grounding for joining Little PM and bringing the vision of the company into line with the various curricula of different schools around the world.
Thank you, Edward. So from where Little PM started? Little PM started by us as a parent, myself and my husband Timur, trying to teach project management approach to our own children. And the first day came to us, and they've been having different ideas of writing the book, making the video, organizing their birthday parties. And rather than going hectically about those ideas, we've put a framework around it based on our experience and our project management approach. And once we successfully have done it with our children, then we thought, why not to make it available for other parents? And then we, together with our children, co-authored those 3 books that you see now on the screen. Book of writing the book in 7 days, organizing the party, and doing different videos that your children might want to do. So those books are very interactive, and we've received quite a lot of positive feedback for that. And the very first book, writing a book in 7 days, got several awards as well. And because of the interest that we've been having now more than 3 years ago, we've also translated the book more than 20 languages now. And we are now providing those books with different charity organizations for different communities globally for the children that in need. The Arabic version was also made available and printed and published. And you would see the picture of Emirati kid presenting this book. We also sourced our books for the organization Malaika in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They've been writing their stories based on our book, and it's been quite successful. So what have started as a book then grew to the different workshops, and from the independent workshop that we've been running for the children in different locations in London, Egypt, here in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Singapore, then grow to the units together with Edward, with help of Edward and the other consultants and the freelancers that we had. We designed different units, and now it's a part of the curriculum and extracurriculum activities as well. Yeah. Yes, and as I've mentioned, our very first book got a lot of endorsements as well from the project management leadership globally. If you're familiar here, you would see several faces of our highly recognized project management leaders, Antonio Nieto, Ricardo Vargas, Americo Pinto, Dr. Frederica Sagrande. You would see Nigel here, Obi here, you would see Raphael, and of course, Badr Bushaid. We also got quite a lot of endorsements from the educational field, from the principals, from the teachers of the primary school, as well as the heads of the primary school. And we also got endorsement from the Ministry of Education from different countries. Our book and Little Project Manager got a lot of awards as well. And we, as you would see here, we have put some examples. We've got the recognition and awards from the Global Project Management Forum in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And also we've got from the same organization, a couple of years later, award first rank for the project excellence in the raising entrepreneurship category. We also been recognized for the workshop that we've been running for the children by Ajman municipality and the Dubai municipality, and very recently by the patronage of the Ministry of Energy and Infrastructure here in UAE. We have organized the Junior Project Manager program. That was the competition for the teenagers. They've been more than 2 months doing their projects together with the mentorship, together with the training that they have received for the project management. And at the end, they've been presenting their projects for the esteemed guest and undersecretary. And also they've been having an award ceremony. The video of the Junior Project Manager award ceremony, as well as the Project Expo, will be released quite soon on our YouTube channel for everyone to see how it was and to see all the projects that our we're proud to hear that our junior PMs been presenting there. So our Little Project Manager framework, as well as the books and the units, they've got quite a lot of recognitions and awards, and we're very proud to see the result that we are having now.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about where Little PM is today. We've actually come quite a long way from the very first book that Anara wrote. Obviously, those books are still available and they're still very valued by people in many countries. But what we now have is a whole framework of Little PM activities that are very closely aligned with children's learning journey through school. You can see here that we actually begin right down in early years, which perhaps might seem quite strange, quite ambitious, but actually the skills that we're trying to impart to these children are skills that children can start to develop and learn from all ages. So we start off offering this from the early years, moving through into the primary school. And in the primary school, the units that we've created are very closely linked with the curriculum. partly we want to make sure that what we are providing is of the most value to children and educators alike. But also we know that there are lots of timetable constraints in schools as well. So rather than replacing anything that children are doing in school, we really do supplement it and we can tie into what's already being taught, but just adding the value of teaching these skills alongside the curriculum requirements. And then, as Anara has already alluded to, as the children move into the senior school, the secondary school, part of their life, part of their education journey, then this is when they will come into doing projects in the real world, and their projects will be based around a theme, a particular project brief, and they will be connected with mentors from the world of project management as well. What we want to make sure at all stages is that we are providing all the materials that are needed, whether this is in a school setting or whether this is in a workshop or an extracurricular setting as well. We don't want to leave teachers and facilitators unsure what to do or unsure how best to deliver the Little PM materials. So although we have done a lot of work to make sure that we are aligned with various curricula, not just the British curriculum, but things like IB and American Social Studies, CBSE, we are also very flexible so that we can adapt to different workshops as well, whether this is in a more school-aligned extracurricular setting or whether it is completely standalone. What you can be sure of then as a facilitator is that you are closely supporting the children's learning journey in their academic environment and taking that beyond, taking it to the next step. We have already tested our units, several of our units in schools and in extracurricular and workshop settings as well. So we are providing something where the work has been done for you. We have created all the resources that you'll need, and we know from experience how successful these can be, how much the children enjoy them, how much the children get out of them, and also how much the parents appreciate the skills that are being taught as well. So this is our whole framework that is aligned with the curriculum, but works equally well in extracurricular settings. At the core of all of the units for Little PM at all stages, we have this framework, these building blocks, which are the 10 core Little PM skills. You can see them all on the screen here, but ultimately we designed, created these skills to make sure that we are supporting the holistic education of the child. We don't want the children just to learn the facts, the knowledge, because we know that popular research shows that simply learning facts and regurgitating them isn't what children need for a well-rounded education. It certainly isn't what they need for the modern world. Our curriculum and our framework is really looking towards the next generation of education. We are preparing life skills for the children. You can see several of them here that are particularly relevant, things like cultural awareness, digital literacy. As we move into a world where AI is prevalent, we live in a interconnected global society. These are skills that are going to allow children to be safe, to be successful, and to be ambitious in their life. And although a lot of these skills children may learn through school, we want to make sure that it's a little bit more explicit, that children can have that sort of metacognition, that they know that they're developing these skills through their education journey. And also this is supported by extracurricular activities as well. By attending these workshops, they can then transfer these skills into their education setting as well. So really there's a lot of benefit that children will get no matter where they carry out the Little PM units. They're going to be able to transfer them to different settings and take them forward as they go into their higher education and into their life beyond as well. Now, 10 is quite a lot of skills, particularly if you think back to the fact that I mentioned that we are providing units for early years. And the way that we apply these skills does differ depending on the age range. So, for example, in early years, in our units that are prepared for students of those ages, we will really just focus more on one skill and try to develop that and embed it and help the children to understand what that means and what it looks like in practice. So it's adapted so it's appropriate for that age range. As we move into the primary school age, so we're looking at sort of 5 to 11 years old, then we're naturally going to find that a lot of these skills will appear in most of the units. It's very difficult to have leadership without also developing communication as well. So lots of these skills are completely complementary, and particularly things like resilience, adaptability, and reflection as well. They will naturally occur in nearly all our units. What we do say, though, is that the units we've designed for the primary school age tend to have a focus on one of these in particular. So there might be a unit that's more based on creativity. There might be one that's more based around digital literacy or increasing cultural awareness. And that will be at the forefront of that particular unit. But inevitably, the children are going to be building these skills as well. And that's as it should be, really. As I've said already, we want these to be life skills, and it would be strange in life to encounter any of these skills in isolation. So we're mirroring that through the units that we create and through the units that we deliver as well. So 10 core skills that we can apply throughout all of our units and throughout all of the age ranges as well. And we think this gives a really solid foundation for children to understand as they go from workshop to workshop what it is that they're developing and how the Little PM workshops are benefiting them.
Thank you, Edward. Yeah, and while we've been founding the Little Project Manager and growing our the awareness of the Little PM in our community, we've been receiving quite a lot of interest, especially when we've been showing how successful our workshops are and what we can present for our children and how we can teach them the skills, the life skills of managing projects. We've been approached by a lot of people from the professional community, project management professionals, the biggest network that I would have in the LinkedIn, and also trainers, facilitators, parents, and those parents who are doing homeschooling as well as online schooling. We've been also approached quite a lot by educators and education innovators who's been researching the new ways of teaching the skills for the children. And this facilitation certification is designed exactly for all of those people who are highly interested in delivering project management in their communities globally, to their network, to the children that they have around, to the schools that they have, and those passionate project managers especially who believe in the skills of the project management and who believe that it's the skill essential for the children, especially in this dynamic and uncertain world, because we are focusing in all of those skills that will help them to succeed in life, be more adaptable, be more think about the problem solving in the creative way and innovative way. So for this certification is designed for everyone who are passionate about project management and who really believes in the skills that we put into the base of our framework. And what if we talk about the certification journey? We've been designing it for quite a long time. We've been putting it together and combining different ways of making the certification impactful, also valuable, and also making sure that our facilitators, after the completing of certification, will be confident to run it. They will be comfortable to run those workshops. They will be backed up with the knowledge that they require to run the workshops at their locations, at their communities. And also they would have all the information for them required to do it in the highest quality. As Edward mentioned before, we have tested all our units several times and they've been successful. And we are providing a comprehensive, ready-to-run materials that we'll talk a little later today. So our facilitators, they're backed up by the knowledge that they will be getting and also by all the materials that they will be getting from us to go and to deliver it successful and with the highest quality. So if we'll talk about this certification journey in details, after you would subscribe to it and you would be onboarded to our certification, to our first cohort that we are running in April, just a couple of weeks, 3 weeks from today. You would be receiving pre-reading materials, that's careful designed materials that will onboard you and provide some introduction knowledge on what we are talking about in terms of our skills, in terms of our framework and our approach. So they will be having a very light, easy to read materials that they will be preparing them for the trainings that we will be running. Then we're planning to have in the middle of April 2 sessions. Both sessions are mandatory to attend. That's why we're providing an options. So for the first session, you have 2 options to attend it. You might attend on the Tuesday, 14th April, or you might want to attend on the second option on the Thursday, 16th of April. But you need to sign up for one of the sessions prior, so we would know to which session you will be attending. And then the second one, it will be for the following week. Either again, you would be attending on Tuesday, 21st, or you would be attending on the Thursday, 23rd of April. So after completing both of those training sessions, you will be more aware of the pedagogical aspects, because most of the people who approached us and who's been interested in the Little PM facilitation certification, they've been from the project management community. You might or you might not have children, but you're highly interested and passionate about this approach, and then we would be equipping you with the pedagogical aspects and everything that you would require to engage with the audience, in this case is children, that you would be having in your workshops. After you would be completing 2 sessions, the next step is also highly valuable for you as well. You need to run a test workshop. It might be with your children, or it might be with your grandchildren, the children of your friend, or children of your neighbors. So you would be, we would be giving you the test unit that you need to run with those children, just to have a feeling of facilitation. And we will be organizing the final workshop, where we would be having a call with you, and we'll discuss all the questions that you would be having and the feedback that you would be having from that test workshop that you have conducted. And of course, after you successfully completed it, you will be getting a certificate. I have a question here from Reynaldo. How long is each session? So we're planning to have each session for 2 hours, 2.5 maximum. We'll see how that will go, how the audience will be receiving it. We are not planning to have a big groups. We are starting very small, and we're starting with those who are now highly motivated and who will be more dedicated for this certification. So, Reynaldo, for your question, each session will have 2 hours. You are based in Brazil, right? So it will be 8 a.m. Rio time for the option 1, and then afternoon for the option 2. So you might sign up for one or another session. Okay. So that's about the certification. Just to summarize, you will be having pre-reading materials. You would be having 2 mandatory sessions. Then you need to perform a 1 test workshop, and then we'll be having a call to receive your feedback and to guide you with all the questions that you might have after that test workshop. And after all of that, you will be receiving the certificate of that will qualify you as a Little PM facilitator. So it's designed with the intention that you will be confident to run it. You would understand our framework. You would understand how to run our units that we have pre-designed for you, and we will be supporting you throughout all the journey, of course.
So I'll just talk a little bit more now about what these 2 training sessions will entail. As Anara mentioned there, we do want to make sure that we're going to give you some pedagogical guidance. If you're not from an education background, then we, just as the same as we would provide you with all of the actual physical resources, we want to equip you with the skills yourself to be able to run a session like this. So we will talk about the educational theory that underpins Little PM, but also what this theory means in practice. It's no good just taking a purely theoretical approach. You need to know what that means for your practice as well. We'll also cover some of the basics of what we call classroom management, how to work on pace, how to adapt for students of different abilities, where you might need to adapt to make something slightly easier, make sure we're providing challenge as well so that the children are getting the most out of the session. We'll also touch on basics of things like safeguarding as well, because we want to make sure that parents and the children are safe when they are experiencing a session run by you. We'll of course give you access to the Little PM framework, and we'll talk over in more detail what that looks like. I mentioned the 10 skills earlier, but we'll take a bit more of a deep dive into what those mean, how they are adapted for different units, and what they look like in theory, and what the point of having those different 10 skills is. We'll also talk through in more detail about the different workshop units. We'll look at the structure of a Little PM unit. Again, we'll look at how the theory is applied through the structure so that you know what to expect when you're running them. We'll give you some advice on how you might implement it. All the materials will be provided, and you can see on the screen here that in the bottom corner here that we will give you the slides, we will talk you through the actual project packs, and there's also going to be an implementation guide that you will have access to, a written implementation guide for each unit individually. But we will talk more generally about the structure of the units as well. And any questions that you have about the theory, about the practice, and about the resources, we will make sure that we can answer those questions as part of the initial 2 sessions, so that by the time you are running your trial session, you are fully equipped to handle that sort of situation, particularly if you don't have a background of running workshops or a background in education. We will talk as well about the difference between working with children and working with adults, because the techniques, the skills that you have developed working in the professional workplace are still relevant to an extent, but obviously they need to be adapted so that you can make it engaging for a much younger audience.
Okay, and also we'll be giving the official certification for those who would like to use it for a more serious setups, like if you would be later on presenting your workshops to run it at schools, for example, as after school activities, or you would like to make some public events, you would be officially certified, you would be having a credential, you will be having a badge that can be validated. As well, we'll be having a register for all the facilitators that will pass and complete our certification journey. And also we'll be having a community of facilitators. So after you would complete the certification and you will start your journey as a provider of the Little PM workshops, we'll be having a close connection with you. We'll be introducing new units that we will be publishing that you would be using for your workshops. We also will be having webinars to guide you further and advance your knowledge in this area, and also in the pedagogical aspects as well. We will be having conferences. So we are planning to have lot of learning experience for all the facilitators that will be joining, and you will be growing together with us, and you'll be having access to more and more units to run it at your community. So you will be presenting it as well for all the parents and the children and the schools who would be interested in those workshops.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the units that are ready to run for you to and use as facilitators. Each of these units, what you'll notice as I talk about them briefly, is that they have several things in common, particularly the fact that they are quite open-ended. We always give a project brief to the children at the start, and we want them to be able to work collaboratively to fulfill this project brief in a way that is personal to them, and we are there really to just guide them. That's how we should see ourselves as the facilitators here. We are enabling the children's learning rather than imparting specific knowledge to them. We're there to support them as they complete these themselves. Now, these are originally designed to have that collaborative element, and obviously that works well for workshops as well. But depending on situations, they can be adapted for, as Anara mentioned, homeschooling or online, depending on the context of where you are at the moment. So the first one here is in our creativity category. It's our comic strip creation. The idea is here students are designing a one-page comic strip that they have to design a scenario from scratch, plan the storyline, draw the panel, and draw each panel, and then bring it together as a finished strip. Obviously, the workshops that you're running will be time limited, so that's why we have only one page. But actually, this is really good for the problem-solving part of the unit as well, because children have to think of a concept and distill it down to just a single page. So there's creativity here, but also problem solving as well. And ultimately, what we like is to have something that the children can, a concrete thing that the children have produced at the end of it. It gives the children a clearer idea, particularly if this is their first Little PM unit. It gives them an idea of what they're working towards. There are various ways that we can support in this. We have in the past run this with a link to morality, so the children have to use their comic strip to tell a story that teaches a lesson, for example. But again, it can be as open-ended as you need. One thing I'll just mention quickly that you'll see is the same for all of these units on the screen, is that there are several icons at the bottom. These are for you to see at a glance the age range that it is intended for, how long it's meant to last, and then we've got links to various curricula. So and other frameworks. So we have links to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We show if it's aligned with the IB scheme of learning. We've got links to the American Social Studies, to the English National Curriculum, and here to the Dubai Moral, Social and Cultural Studies. If you're in a place that doesn't use these curricula, then we can support you to make sure that these units are closely linked to whatever school curriculum is used in your area. Particularly if this is in an after-school context, we can support you to make sure that that's in line with what the school is doing. But generally, because we are a skills framework, we can very easily adapt to any different curriculum. Down at the bottom left here, we have one that's focused more on culture, which is designing their own flag. Children will start by looking at existing world flags, looking at the meaning behind symbols and colours, and then applying that to design and present their own flag. And it's a reflection really of their personal identity and expression, but also thinking about their heritage as well. In this unit, we are providing all the resources and guidance for children on particular symbols and colours, and we give templates as well. We want to make sure that although children can achieve this within one session, we're still enabling them to create a quality product as well. Not all children will necessarily be as artistic or creative or find that something that's their strength, but we are still going to support them to make sure that they can be proud of what they've achieved in the session, and that it ultimately fulfills the project brief as well, so they can show that clearly. In our Understanding the World section, our My Story one, this was initially designed for one of our early years units, but actually we've expanded this to be adaptable, to be adapted for older children as well. It starts actually simply with picture cards, which actually can be beneficial if you're working in a context where you've got multiple languages as well. It reduces that cognitive load and children can purely focus on what we want them to here, which is the cause and effect and sequence of stories. In essence, we have several cards that with different backgrounds, different pictures on that can be arranged in many ways. They are called myriamas. So all these pictures will create almost like a frieze or a long strip of a story, but they can be rearranged. The idea is that this leads to discussion and discovery of how actions lead to outcomes, and really thinking about the consequences of certain actions happening. This can be used particularly to support with younger children as they develop that ability to talk about hypothetical situations. But it's very easy to extend this further when you're working with older children as well. And not only are we supporting the imagination, the creativity, we're also practicing the oracy as well. And for lots of schools, the oracy is an area to target to improve the literacy as well. So by speaking, they're actually improving their literacy work as well. Um, the building personal responsibility down at the bottom, this is something that has been really popular in classrooms, but we can actually adapt this to different contexts as well. The idea is the children are learning how to take responsibility for different chores, different tasks. This could be in a classroom setting, but also could be at home as well. So they're working to design these units um, to think about how they can contribute with their actions as well. And this is done in a gamified way, so it doesn't seem that banal. It's something there that wanting to support each other with and try and achieve these different missions. Very popular with parents as well, because the children are then excited to help out around the house. In our collaborative arts, again, this was one that was initially designed for early years, but we've expanded it and made sure it is linking to the curriculum for older children as well. It's taking fairly abstract patterns that are created with different art materials and then using this to create a collaborative piece of art. The idea being that the individual element that students create may not be something in its own right, but when they come together and communicate how to combine them, then they create a bigger picture and showing really that the whole is more than just the sum of the parts. And finally, the City of Tomorrow is one of our most popular units. Strong links to sustainability and being aware of the future and the environment. They are designing what a city of tomorrow would look like, how we can design communities to be more inclusive, to be more sustainable, thinking about the materials that are used, thinking about the facilities, thinking about the infrastructure. And again, children can work in small teams to create their part of the city. And then as a whole group, we are bringing them together to create this entire community. We have done this with Lego in the past, based on Anara's work with Lego Education. But there are different ways to fulfill this as well. So here you can see we've got a real range of different units focusing on different types of skills that can be adapted for various different age ranges as well. But for all of these, we provide all the resources and we'll provide all the support to help you adapt to your context as well.
Thank you, Edward, for introducing units. So all of those units will be available for all our facilitators, and they can run it, throw it after they will complete the certification. We already know that those modules are very popular, and as parents as well as teachers and everyone love them, and they enjoy it, and the children as well. Several times when we've been running it, children at the end been coming to us and asking if we can come tomorrow to run it again or to run something else. So children love it, parents love them, and you would have all the materials really to run it and to adopt it based on the children that you would be having, to make it more challenging for them or to adapting to those who would be facing some difficulties. But those are really everything that you would need to have. So you would have a presentation, you would have a project pack for children to do their projects, and also you would have a guidelines for yourself. Okay. And with that, we are coming almost to the end of our presentation. By scanning this QR code, and this will be available as well on the messages and on the post after the live session. You can onboard to be part of the first cohort that we'll be doing April in 3 weeks' time. And you will be one of those first who will be certified with our Facilitator certification. Outside of our company and our facilitators that we already have in Little PM. And only for the first cohort, we are doing this big discount. Don't expect it for the next cohort. We, of course, will be applying a lot of other changes, but this is your unique chance to be the first one, to shout in the community boldly and loudly that you are a certified facilitator for the Little PM, and being part of our community and our network. And if you have any questions, this is the time for you to raise it to us. We'll be happy to answer to them. As Rinaldo already asked some questions and he left the call, but Rinaldo, if you are watching the recording and you have any questions, you know how to reach us, or you can, of course, type your questions on the message under this recording of the live session that we're having. We'll be happy to answer it for you. I've been asked previously about adoption to the different languages. So our materials, those that are for the facilitator, the guidelines, for now, I believe that all of you would know English and you would be comfortable to read guidelines in English language. But adapting the presentation and adapting the project package to the language that your children would understand is not that difficult, and we can discuss if those requests will be coming. We are already translating those materials to Arabic language. So we would be having some units available in Arabic very soon for the Middle East region. They're getting popular as well, and they're getting high interest from the schools here in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. That's why we're already translating it to the Arabic language, but we can consider translating the project package for the children that your children speak in your community. Any other questions that you might have, please don't hesitate and ask them. Just to repeat myself, the certification journey will not be that long, but we expect your dedication, because after the completion of the certification, you would be working with the children. And as Edward said, children requires a little different approach, how to engage them, how to deliver our units as well. And in that terms, we are very confident because our units that we have designed, they are very experiential, they're very engaging, and children love them. We had tested it so many times. We are very confident about our units, and we are very passionate about what we do. That's why we are always open to discuss any concerns or any questions that you would be having. For the schools, we are also doing a bespoke services as well in those areas that schools would like to improve. We are providing units with some in some areas that they need, like we had a lot of materials designed for the moral, social, and cultural aspect, for UAE history as well. No, it's one of a payment. I've received the question from Chris. You will pay only for the training, the certification that we would be having, and you would be certified to be a facilitator, and you would get access to all those units that's open for you. And we've been presenting those, been 6 units now, but gradually we will be adding more units because we want to be sure that you have an interesting package of the workshops that you can run. There will be, of course, some units that you would want to purchase separately. For example, now we are completing the test of the unit related to the Silk Road trading game. And because of the time and the effort that we put in designing this game of learning the Silk Way in terms of the history as well as the trading for the entrepreneurship and all the materials that you would require, some of the units like this one you can purchase separately. But saying that, it's one-of-a-time payment for the certification, and you would get the package to run your workshops. That's included.
Just for something to add in as well, with the units that are immediately available, they do have suggested times, but actually we have, in some of the workshop trials that we've done, we feel that there's enough sort of interest and ground with the children to extend this to more than one session. So although we're offering 6 units immediately available, this doesn't necessarily equate to 6 sessions, depending on the interest of the children that you're working with and the context that you have personally. We already have suggested ways for you to extend these. And again, that's something we can support you with if you want to do these over a longer period as well.
Okay. Yeah, Chris had a second question for how long would Facilitator have access to the materials for? It's lifelong, and we hope that you would get the high interest for the workshops that you would be running, and you would be asking for more workshops or more way how to adapt it, the materials that we would be having. But yeah, the access you will be getting, and we will be highly encouraging you to practice and to do those workshops, to run them, as we really know that the parents, they love their children to be onboarded. People nowadays understand about importance of those life skills that we're teaching, especially in the current world, and even the schools are now approaching us because they understand that education is now needs some additional ways of teaching, and especially when we are providing really highly engaging classes and the units, and making it very accessible and easy to run to the teachers. We're taking out a lot of work from the teachers as well to prepare for the class. Thank you, Chris, for the questions. Okay. Would we have some other questions? Yeah, we do have a QR code here. So the first one, to subscribe to our newsletter, as we are publishing bi-weekly some news related to the at this time for this upcoming facilitation certification, but we also will be sending the new materials that we would have. We'll be announcing about our new units that will be available for our facilitators. And of course, you can, by scanning the second QR code, you can be onboarded to the training. And as soon as you would onboard, we will be in contact and start our training. Just to remind, the training sessions are planned from the mid of April. The first session will be on the 14th or 16th of April, and the second session will be on the 21st or 23rd of April. So we do have just 3 weeks to onboard you for the first cohort, and we'll be happy to have all of you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to answer. Okay. Okay, we're having one question here. How much time normally does it take for the Little PM program to be imparted to the little ones? Edward, if you can
Yeah, of
help me to
course.
answer that, yeah.
A lot of the sessions we've designed to be completed in a single session or equating to a lesson in school, which would be approximately 1 hour. The reason for having this as the starting point is that if we are taking a particular objective from a school's curriculum, um, schools would often try to complete an objective, for example, in the humanities subject, in a single lesson. So we want to make sure it worked for that purpose. Similarly, if you as a facilitator are running workshops maybe once a week that are 1 hour sessions, we want you to be able to complete something in a single session so that the children can achieve in that time frame. As I mentioned, though, for some of the units, they can work very well if they're extended over 2 or 3 sessions because you can get more out of them and explore an idea in a deeper way. But by and large, our aim is to make sure that each unit can be completed in an hour. In terms of the encouragement to complete the projects, one of the things I mentioned was that for the different units, we want the children to have something practical that they can achieve, that they can create. One of the pedagogical theories we'll talk about in the training is constructionism, which is the idea that children really work well, they collaborate well when they've got a sort of a specific end product to work towards as well. So although for the older children, we are sort of making sure that they understand the skills that they're developing, a lot of the motivation can come from the thing that they are creating themselves. And the way we've designed them as well with these sort of interactive and gamification principles, the actual process of completing the units themselves, we find the children really enjoy. To answer the third part of your question there, what kind of projects do we provide to them? Well, they really do vary. I say we've taken our 10 skills from our framework as a basis, but some of them are going to be more creative, where they might be creating something artistic, creating a comic book. Some of them might be projects that they can carry out in the real world, such as community-based projects. Some of them might be using resources such as Lego to think about the impact in community as well. Some of them, because of the nature of maybe school lessons, after school clubs or workshops, we want to make it as a real world linked as possible. So rather than just having hypothetical ideas about how we can have an impact in the community, you may very well use Little PM and the workshops as a vehicle to actually enact some change as well. So what the kind of projects are really very varied as well. And hopefully the first 6 that we are providing really give a range across what we can provide. But there are many others, as Anara has mentioned, that we have ready available for facilitators to use. And Anara, do you want to take the fourth part of that question there?
Yes, yeah. The last question about the revenue generating business model. We will be discussing that as well. We'll have a suggestion and we'll share our best knowledge. It will majorly depend on your location, where you're located. So the business model here in the UAE or in London or in Brazil will be completely different based on the base of the location and also to the check. That's why it might vary, but we will be giving you an idea on how to achieve it best. And of course, we'll be providing all the marketing material that you can use to increase awareness of your services at the workshop facilitator. And of course, we'll be providing some materials that you can also introduce to the school. If you would like to run after school activities or and activities with the children of that school, if you would like to approach the parents. So we'll be supporting you with all of those materials based on our best practices and our experience and our knowledge that we've collected for the last years of our experience. So yeah, we'll be talking about that as well. Thank you for the question. Okay. Would we have some more questions? We're receiving quite good questions, right, Edward?
Fantastic questions.
Yeah. Remember our experience that we've been running the one of kind demo workshop here in November. So we haven't been much creating much noise. We haven't been running any additional ads to attract children to our workshop. But regardless, we've got more than 15 kids for that demo workshop that's been participating, and all of them been happy. And it was just a demo workshop to run and to see how the market will react to our services here. But the interest was very high, and they've been asking us if we can run it on a weekly basis, if we can run it within their schools, and we are providing our units and of course our materials to the camps that operate, and those camps they are free to run our workshops in within their established programs that they have here. So what I'm trying to say is that without even advertising it, we've got high interest, which speaks for itself, I believe. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot for everyone who's been our audience today. We've been really happy to present our program to you all, and we are looking forward to have you with us and to start this journey with you and deliver our little PM to different children in the different locations, because that's what we want to make our skills available to all the children all over the world. And we're trying to achieve it through different channels, through distributing our books with different charity organizations, with help of yourself, of course, to deliver it in different locations, and as well as those competitions that we are running. For now, we are limited by the locations here, but we are looking forward to deliver it in different countries as well. Okay. With that, Edward, thank you a lot for hosting this presentation together with me, and hope to see everyone mid of April on our training.
Thank you very much, everyone.